Honkai Star Rail is a popular game with many different paths that players can take to enhance their combat abilities. Currently, there are 7 paths in the game, each with its unique advantages and abilities. In this guide, we will provide you with an overview of all 7 paths and team recommendations to help you make the most out of your gameplay. According to Himeko, the birth of an eon gives rise to a path. A person is considered to be on a path when their will overlaps with that path. If the person has a strong enough will, they can draw power from that path. Those who can do so are called pathstriders. This is why our main character can have multiple paths, and we might get more paths if new eons were born. The first path is the destruction. This path is all about dealing outstanding amounts of damage and possessing great survivability. You can even make a team with only destruction characters. Our main character was born with destruction, so this path is suitable for various combat scenarios. The destruction path in Honkai Star Rail is a powerful path that offers outstanding amounts of damage and survivability. It's a path that is suitable for various combat scenarios and is perfect for players who want to deal the most damage possible while still being able to survive in battle. One of the main advantages of the destruction path is that it allows players to deal massive amounts of damage to enemies, which can be useful when facing tougher opponents. This is especially true when it comes to elite enemies, where the destruction path can be used to take down opponents quickly and efficiently. Another advantage of the destruction path is that it provides players with a high level of survivability. This means that players can take more hits and survive longer in battles, which is essential for players who want to take on tougher enemies or complete more challenging missions. In terms of team composition, the destruction path is versatile enough to work in various scenarios, making it a great option for any team. Players can choose to focus on pure damage with a team of destruction characters, or they can mix and match with other paths to create a more balanced team. The second path is the hunt. Hunts deal extraordinary amounts of single-target damage and are the main damagers against elite enemies. Although they have good damage, they are very fragile. It's better to team up with a preservation or abundance character to balance out their weaknesses. The hunt path in Honkai Star Rail is focused on dealing extraordinary amounts of single-target damage, making them the main damagers against elite enemies. As mentioned earlier, hunts are very fragile, which means that they can be defeated quickly if not protected by the right team setup. In terms of team recommendations, it's better to team up a hunt with a preservation or abundance character to ensure that they are well protected and sustained during combat. This is especially important during boss battles, where the enemy has high HP and strong attacks, and the hunt needs to continuously deal damage to take them down. One of the advantages of using a hunt is their ability to deal massive amounts of damage in a short amount of time, making them a great choice for speed runs or time-limited challenges. However, this also means that they are not the best choice for prolonged battles or battles with multiple enemies, where their single-target damage may not be as effective. To make the most of a hunt's potential, it's important to equip them with weapons and stigmata that boost their critical rate, critical damage, and attack speed. This will ensure that they can deal as much damage as possible with each hit, making them a formidable force in combat. The third path is the Erudition. Eruditions deal remarkable amounts of multi-target damage and are the main damagers against groups of enemies. They usually have interesting mechanics, and most of them can do follow-up attacks, which is great in a simulation universe. The Erudition path in Honkai Star Rail is all about dealing remarkable amounts of multi-target damage. These characters excel in taking out groups of enemies with their powerful area of effect attacks. They are great for crowd control and can often handle multiple enemies at once. Erudition characters in Honkai Star Rail typically have interesting mechanics that set them apart from other paths. For example, some of them can perform follow-up attacks after using their skills or attacks, while others have unique debuffs that can weaken enemy units and increase the damage they take. One of the standout Erudition characters in the game is Durandal, a powerful fighter who specializes in using her spear to deal devastating blows to groups of enemies. Her skills allow her to quickly close the distance to her targets and unleash a flurry of attacks that can hit multiple enemies at once. Another notable Erudition character is Himeko, a character who has appeared in previous Honkai Impact games. Himeko is a versatile fighter who can use her sword to perform a variety of powerful attacks, including a powerful spinning attack that can hit multiple enemies in a wide area. The fourth path is the Harmony. Harmonies apply buffs to allies to improve the team's combat capacities. Bronya is the best Harmony in the current version of the game. Her skill can make your character immediately get an extra turn. We recommend only pulling on a regular warp so you can redeem her in case you can't get her. The Harmony path in Honkai Star Rail is a unique path that focuses on applying buffs to allies to improve the team's combat capacities. These characters are essential for players who want to build strong and effective teams. One of the most notable characters in the Harmony path is Bronya. Her skill allows your character to immediately get an extra turn, which is incredibly useful in battle. She is also one of the best characters to have in the early game as she provides a significant advantage in combat. Another character in the Harmony path is Lilia. She has the ability to heal and buff her allies while dealing damage to enemies. Her ultimate skill, Symphony of Fate, increases the damage dealt by all allies and grants them invincibility for a short period, making her an excellent choice for players who want to build a well-rounded team. Harmony characters are not necessarily the primary damage dealers in a team, but they play a vital role in enhancing the team's overall combat abilities. With their buffs and support skills, they can increase the team's survivability and damage output. It's important to note that while Harmony characters are crucial for building effective teams, they are not necessarily required for every battle. Players can choose to switch out their Harmony character for a different path, depending on the situation and their team's needs. The fifth Nihility path applies debuffs to enemies to reduce their combat capacities. Currently, there is no free character in the Nihility path, but players are looking forward to Kafka, who will be in this path. The Nihility path is a unique path in Honkai Star Rail that focuses on applying debuffs to enemies to reduce their combat capacities. Although there are currently no free characters in this path, it is still an important path to consider when building your team. The Nihility characters have abilities that can reduce enemy defense, attack power, and even disable their abilities. This makes them very effective against powerful enemies, especially bosses. In addition, their abilities can also provide a significant advantage in PvP battles, as they can weaken the opposing team's characters and give your team an edge. While the Nihility path may not have any free characters at the moment, there are rumors that a new Nihility character named Kafka will be added to the game soon. Kafka is expected to have powerful debuff abilities, making her a valuable addition to any team. It is important to note that while the Nihility path can be very effective in battles, it is also a path that requires careful strategy and timing. Applying debuffs at the wrong time can leave your team vulnerable, so it is important to use these abilities wisely. The sixth Preservation path has powerful defensive abilities to protect allies in various paths. After beating Kokolia in the main story, the main character acquired the Preservation path, and players can switch between Preservation and Destruction anytime. The Preservation path is one of the 7 paths available in Honkai Star Rail. As the name suggests, this path is focused on defense and protecting allies in combat. The characters on this path have powerful defensive abilities that can help mitigate damage and keep the team alive. One of the main benefits of the Preservation path is that it allows players to use their characters as tanks, absorbing damage and keeping the more fragile characters safe. This is especially important in boss battles, where the enemy can deal massive amounts of damage in a short period of time. By using Preservation characters, players can ensure that their team stays alive long enough to deal enough damage to defeat the boss. The Preservation path also has several unique mechanics that can help players in combat. For example, some Preservation characters have the ability to generate shields, which can block incoming attacks and protect the team from harm. Other characters have healing abilities that can restore the HP of the entire team, making them invaluable in extended battles where damage can accumulate quickly. One of the most notable Preservation characters in Honkai Star Rail is March 7th. She is a highly durable character with an impressive arsenal of defensive abilities. Her ultimate ability creates a large shield around the team, protecting them from all damage for a short period of time. She also has an ability that allows her to absorb incoming attacks and convert the damage into a powerful counterattack. In addition to March 7th, there are several other Preservation characters that players can choose from, each with their own unique abilities and playstyles. For example, Snowy is a Preservation character who specializes in ice attacks and can freeze enemies in place, making them easier to hit. Meanwhile, Teresa Apocalypse is a versatile character who can switch between different paths on the fly, allowing her to adapt to different combat situations. Lastly, the Abundance path heals allies and restores HP to the team. If you're fighting high-level monsters, it's recommended to bring an abundance character to your team. Natasha is the only choice for F2P players. The abundance path is one of the 7 paths in Honkai Star Rail. As the name suggests, characters on this path specialize in healing allies and restoring their HP. They play a crucial role in keeping the team alive and healthy during battles. The main strength of the abundance path is their healing ability. They can restore HP to allies, remove debuffs, and provide various buffs that improve the team's survivability. This makes them an excellent addition to any team, especially when fighting high-level monsters or bosses that deal heavy damage. One of the most notable characters on the abundance path is Natasha. She is currently the only free-to-play character on this path, and she has proven to be a valuable asset in battles. Her healing abilities are reliable, and she can also provide shields and buffs to allies. In addition to healing, some characters on the abundance path can also deal damage. They may not have as much damage output as characters on other paths, but their ability to heal themselves and allies make them very durable in battle. Understanding the paths in Honkai Star Rail is essential in building an effective team. Each path has its strengths and weaknesses, and players must choose the path that suits their playstyle. With this guide, you can select the best path and team recommendations that will help you dominate the game. Choosing the best team combination in Honkai Star Rail can be a daunting task, especially with the variety of paths and characters available. However, with a good understanding of each path's strengths and weaknesses, players can create a team that maximizes their potential in combat. One possible combination of 4 paths includes Destruction, Hunt, Erudition, and Preservation. This team has a good balance of damage, survivability, and defensive capabilities. The Destruction path provides outstanding damage and great survivability. A character like Yae Sakura or Teresa Apocalypse would be a great fit for this role. The Hunt path is focused on dealing extraordinary amounts of single-target damage. A character like Fuwa or Durandal would be ideal for this role. The Erudition path deals remarkable amounts of multi-target damage, making it ideal for fighting against groups of enemies. A character like Seal Valere or Kiana Kazlana would excel in this role. Finally, the Preservation path provides powerful defensive abilities to protect allies. A character like Branya Zacic or Rita Rosweiss would be a great choice for this role. Another possible combination includes Destruction, Harmony, Abundance, and Preservation. This team provides a good balance of damage, healing, and defensive capabilities. The Destruction path provides outstanding damage and great survivability. A character like Yae Sakura or Teresa Apocalypse would be a great fit for this role. The Harmony path applies buffs to allies to improve the team's combat capacities. Branya Zacic would be an excellent choice for this role. The Abundance path can heal allies and restore HP to the team. A character like Natasha Olenyeva would be a great fit for this role. Finally, the Preservation path provides powerful defensive abilities to protect allies. A character like Rita Rosweiss would excel in this role. Ultimately, the best team combination depends on the player's playstyle and the situation they are in. Experimenting with different paths and characters is key to finding the perfect combination for each player.